Hello everyone, this is Warpster77 tuning into the last SMG 101 video. Yes, this is what I feel is the last SMG. Aside from what I would say the Honey Badger is, but this I feel is more of an AS-Val variant, and I've already gone over the AS-Val. I use it pretty much the same as an AS-Val, so I don't feel like that one needs to undergo its own video. It'd just be very cut and dry. Now this SR3M, or the Surmaher as I like to refer to it as, is the last SMG that I feel is an actual SMG. And I don't know why he does this where he like scatters things around instead of just putting them in the PDW section, but anyway, let's get on with the show. And up first we have the kind of go-to class, close quarters to medium range-ish variant, and that is with a coyote sight, a green laser. I don't even bother putting a grip on it because it already comes with a grip, except for a few occasions where I kind of get rid of it, or I use the angled grip for more control. As far as for medium-ish range. Sorry, I had something in my mouth. No, get those thoughts out of your head now. So, pistols are not really something you need to worry about with this weapon, other than maybe you don't want, excuse-moi. Go fuck yourself. Anyway, you may want to consider maybe not an automatic pistol like the Tech 9 or the G18, more of a semi, one that you can get somewhat decent range or control your range for this weapon in particular. Now, as far as this for being a long-range weapons go, as a long-range weapon, I will deal with that when it comes in the later ends of the video, but for right now, this is a very good go-to class if you're just one of those guys that kind of likes optimal uses for a weapon. And let me switch over to the next class, which I already have prepared, so no cutting. Actually, it goes straight to a bip, itty bip, itty boopy. Yep, this is the one I keep on me. It is a suppressive force where I use a PBS-1 Cobra sight, and I do get rid of this one for angled grip as a suppressor. It works better with the angled grip rather than the normal standard grip that it has, which usually favors a compensator. So that is just the reasoning why I use an angled grip over the just normal hand or stock grip, I should say. Now, one thing that this weapon has for suppressive choices is, unlike the AS-Val, where you're just given the stock suppressor, now you have options of suppressors, and I'll show you what the PBS-4 does over this one. Personally, I prefer the PBS-1 because it extends the range of which damage is done, even though it does minimize damage a bit more than the other suppressor. So, it also looks sleeker. I don't really like the butt plug as far as PBS-1. Also, I think that the PBS-1 doesn't really damage its rate of fire. I don't know about that. I don't think any suppressor really does damage the rate. Ugh. I just cringed inside. Anyway, so I'll show you what the next one looks like when the next map shows up. Alright, and now I'm going to show you what it's like with the PBS-4 if I load in. Hello. There I go. So now, yeah, we're on the highway lot. This is actually a perfect segue into the next kind of calibers that I want, or the next kind of classes that I want to use with this weapon in particular. Although, kind of dismays me that it's flare, so I can't really show these classes for very long, because the next map, well, you can use this gun for crane. I don't recommend it, especially for my playstyle, but we shall see. Yes. Yep. See, this one's recoil is less choppity and it's a bit smoother, but I kind of like the choppy because this is a pain in the ass for me. This is definitely something that you'd want to use for close quarters and close quarters only. So if you are into this kind of weapon, then by all means, go ahead. This kind of setup in the way that it's used here. Maybe not the best demonstration, but a demonstration nonetheless. So, picture it kind of like the FAMAS in this case, except way worse at range. And it's got a really low suppressive rate, so this is really good for very close quarters combat. Except of course the natural suppressors and the just suppressors. I wonder if I can just sneak up on these guys. Oh wait, I'm spotted by the enemy. Shit. Bet he wasn't expecting that. Ah, my face. They hurt my face. Face of base. I need to die anyway. End me, daddy. Oh. Welp. Come here, you bitches. Shoot me. Shoot me. Shooteth me. Ineth face. Now. I demandeth. Shoot me. Oi. Asholio. I've been no-scoped from that further of range. Come on now. Shoot me. Shoot. Nigga. Shoot me. Come on now. Shoot me. Also, I'm not racist. That was a quote from a very, very popular comedian that I saw last night. So I think it's very funny. And if you are offended, you have every right and entitlement to be. I just don't want to hear it. Thank you, boss. Thank you. Hallelujah. All power to thee. Alright, on to the next class, which I actually don't need to get. I will just switch. Ba-da-ba-da-da-da. Now, you'll notice this one doesn't have a grip on it at all. It has an underbarrel laser. Personally, I like the laser because it helps me with accuracy when I'm hip firing. So the next class, you'll understand, will also... It'll show the counter in the importance of why I value a laser versus the one that I'll get into for a second. Oop, is that a person? That is your potion. Very good tap fire for long range. Oh shit. Should have tap fired that. Oh well. But I like the delta sight on this thing because the comp aim point's really good, but it's not the best for close quarters, especially with this weapon in particular. It has a decent zoom, but it's not anything like an ACOG or it's not like an ACOG where you have intense zoom or VCOG. So that is the benefit of this sight in particular. I also think that it handles recoil very, very well, and it's also not very it's very opaque, so you can see what you're doing, unlike say the C79 or the M145. And I think the M145 is a terrible sight with recoil. So for full autos, thank you boss. So for full autos, it's a rather pain in the ass to deal with. So I'm gonna now show you the last set that I have, and that's with the long range sight. Now, I swapped the laser for a grip because it helps with the control. That's one thing that this weapon lacks, is control when you are strafing side to side. So for close quarters, not real big deal. You pray, you shoot, you win or lose. For this weapon, at long range, hip fire is never the option, and I think not many weapons are the option of that, except a few that are things that I will not cover. But the reason I chose a grip is now it's a lot more stable. Now I think smaller barreled sights, smaller barreled weapons themselves have pretty low, actually have pretty high stability ratings. Aye, asshole, do you mind? I wasn't done showing that one, so boss, you can go to fuck yourself. I wasn't done demonstrating, saying my piece, and I gotta hurry up. Anyway, so the ACOG on this one does add it for that long range sight. I think it's a little too long for this battlefield. But for, say, other battlefields, it's a rather nice one. Like on Crane. If you were to use it on Crane, I wouldn't recommend it, but it's got the form and function. That's why the Delta sight's there. That's why you got the ACOG. It's an all-around decent setup in general. It's nothing spectacular, especially since I think the angled grip gives it that extra push, but if you leave it on a normal stock grip, it's just about as fine. It'll add just a bit more hip fire and a little tad bit more recoil, and it's a little more unstable, but it's just those little preferences that you decide. Anyways, guys, this is Warpster77 signing out with Boss, and I will see you all in the next video. Hasta! I just muted myself.